Hey, ladies and gents, this is Dewis coming to you with the review of the Mythic Legions Tharnog figure from the recent Poxus wave. This is a wave we've been waiting for a while, almost 2 years, and we had a little pizza party last night because it was the retailer street date, and got to see a lot of cool people at Toy Fusion in Sacramento, and check out the new wave and check out the toys. And I decided to do a review of this guy because he is the new brute scale, and it's my understanding that the retailers don't have him yet because they were packaged separately, the brute scale figures, which I believe would be Tharnog and the Jinn. So this guy came in my all-in, and so I'm feeling lucky because I got him before, I guess, a lot of people. So here we go. This is the box. Nate Art's beautiful art in the back. The story of Mythos, and then there's the Basilia faction, my favorite faction because it worships the feathered serpent. And here is Tharnog, and here is his bio. So I'll go through that for you real quickly. It says, Tharnog. As an intermediary between the mortal and spirit worlds, the orc shaman Tharnog's power is obtained from arcane knowledge gained from the realm beyond. In his younger days, his mystical skills were brandished as part of Queen Urska's quiet resistance against the orc's servitude to the Legion of Erethyr. Inspired by Urska's desire for orcish freedom, Tharnog relocated himself and offered to wield his gifts for a righteous fight along Hera Serpentspire and the convocation of Basilia. Now, I am a little ashamed to admit that Tharnog was one of my least anticipated figures in this wave. And I just have to say that that was absolutely nuts. Once I opened the box and got him out of the package, I think I had been sort of fooled by just, all the stuff that he had on him and all the details. And the details were getting kind of drowned out. He has this sort of fur piece that you can drape around his shoulders. And while this is cool, I'm not going to display him with this because I think it covers up too much detail and sort of bulks out the wonderful silhouette that they've created with this figure. So I'm just going to go without that, and I'll probably put this on a dwarf or something else. That's a good thing about Mythic Legions is you can interchange parts. But let me tell you, this is an awesome figure. Just amazing. There was another thing about that I thought, well, why does he have antlers on his back? Isn't that, kind of goofy? I did see, I think it was in one of the Lord of the Rings. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I saw characters with these big antlers on their backs. And I think that's where the inspiration may have come from. But man, I mean, just in person, he looks so detailed and crisp, and those horns, the wash, the paint, everything, all those details are what makes him just a super duper cool character. And like I said, I'm so excited because this was a guy that I was like, oh yeah, he's cool, but he's not going to be my favorite for sure. I was way more excited for other ones. He's definitely one of the standouts of the wave. And just looking at him, he might be the sleeper of the entire wave because I feel other people sort of maybe felt the same way I did. But he's the new scale, so he's brute scale, so he's bigger than the 1.0 figures. I'm putting this here for comparison. That's a 1.0. And when you don't have them next to each other, it's kind of interesting because for me, I don't really have a sense of scale that well. And he's a way bigger figure than a 1.0. And it's cool because he's not ogre scale. Let me grab a ogre scale figure here for comparison. Um, Look at that. Ogre scale is just massive, but brute scale is really, really big too. And now we have it so that we have, 1.0, 2.0, uh, brute scale, ogre scale, and then we're half giant, and who knows what else. But it's a real diversity to the line. This is a character who it's kind of unexpected. Like I said, he's a sleeper. He's a little different. He's in the convocation of Basilia, but he's an orc. He's an orc, but he's a good guy, And there's something about the sculpt that just gives him a real nobility to his face, and he looks wise. And the wrinkles on his forehead are so expressive. The extras are awesome. I love the bare feet that he's walking around with his bare feet. Check this out. Just feast your eyes, man. Look at all the feathers and the rings on that long, majestic beard. Like I said, the face, so wise and noble. Not, you see those huge tusks and you think savagery, but no, it's just, it's a beautifully done figure. Look at the details just here on this staff, right? With sort of the deer head and the antlers, and then there's a skull, and it's awesome, man. Front and back, the bones. Think about what it took to put this together, sculpt it, and then have the factory execute it so perfectly. Paint all these little bits of string and twine. Oh, wow. This staff is just absolutely amazing. And then, look at this sort of belt piece or loin piece or whatever. You've got this very, very cool gourd with this decorative paint on the side. It looks like some jawbones. Airbrush there, really nice little touches, rivets, another skull, this bag, I guess, and another little tiny potion bottle, just containing, whatever magical stuff. Look at these rivets. Look at this. Look at these tiny little buckles, and they're painted perfectly. How do you do this? The Four Horsemen never cease to amaze me, but who amazes me just as much or even more? The freaking factory, how they do this. Figure after figure. Look at that. His toenails are painted black. Perfectly painted. I couldn't even paint my own toenails without getting them all messed up. Not that I want to, but fingernails, black fingernails, perfectly painted. How do they do this? I have no idea. The wash on the wraps on the feet and the hands. Oh, man, this figure is gorgeous. Look at that. Look at these bones that are tied to his pauldrons. Look at the back right there. Just a really super unique figure. I don't know, where are you going to find something like this? This is an original IP, and I know it, look at these horns. These horns are black. Or what is it? Maybe they're jagged rocks sticking up. I don't know. It's so cool and awesome. You just stare at this honestly, man, look at that. Look at those little buckles painted in there perfectly. Man, this, I apologize to Tharnog. He's got gauges. He's got these earrings that are just bones sticking out. Look at his face. Just look at his face. Look at those forehead wrinkles, the wrinkles on the mouth, the nose. Holy smokes. This thing looks like you could just wake up and walk off. It's so hyper realistic, and man, those are cool. The antlers are cool. I'm sure you can reuse them for other things, but mind blown for Horsemen. Kudos, hats off, on this guy. And Dude, check out this accessory. It's like a translucent blue orb with purple magic. I don't know, what is that? That's like a fire coming out that he can hold that as well. You know, can have the staff in one and the orb in another, just ready to cast a spell. Man, this is a really, really, really cool, very cool hand and accessory and magic accessory. I think they're stuck together. I don't know if you can take them off. I think, well, maybe you can. Yeah, you can. Look at that. Look at that. So it's an extra hand, and then there's the orb, and the orb doesn't come out. I love that translucent blue, man. That's a magical accessory for sure. All right, so then you have that goes with that, and then you have 2 extra hands. Right, sort of a loose or not a gripping hand, just a, you know, or a gripping hand for something that's bigger and thicker and stuff. But so 2 extra hands, and then, you know, as if we haven't gotten enough already. Look at this. This is a extra head, and it's got war paint on it. So I don't know which one you're gonna prefer. I think I'm kind of partial to the Face Sans war paint, you know, because I know he's a kick-ass character, but I like just the sense of peace, the nobility, the character that he has when he's not at war, you know, just like going through the forest or teaching, or, you know, he's a mage and he's a sage and he's all those things. And he's one of the coolest figures that the 4 Horsemen have ever made. And like I said, you have to get an all-in because you don't know what figures are going to be just, you know, the hits of the wave or the sleepers or the awesome ones, because, you know, it's just impossible to tell until you actually have these guys in hand. And it just never translated to me. I just never got it through my head, even though I saw, you know, the prototypes. How good is this? 4 Horsemen are top of their game. I want to congratulate them on this figure. Good job. And that's it. I mean, I'm at a loss for words now. But I can say, is the Wiz signing out.